Yeah. So, welcome to our JavaScript file. Can you see my? Okay. Let me start sharing. I hope you can see my screen now. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
All right. So, welcome to JavaScript class, and today we'll be talking about so many things. So many things. So, basically, congratulations on finishing up your HTML and your CSS journey. I know it not be easy, but thank God you were able to push through. Yeah. So today we'll be from now onward we'll be doing JavaScript. Then after the theoretical part, we'll now add our JavaScript to that our project that we just finished last week. So we'll be looking at what is JavaScript. What is JavaScript? So what is JavaScript? JavaScript is a lightweight interpreted dynamic programming language primarily used to create interactive dynamic con ten t on websites or web pages or mobile app or any other platform you can think of that make use of programming language. So is a JavaScript is just HTML and CSS is not they are not programming language, they are just markup language. That is they are used to create to mark up a web page. Yeah, to create a web page. um JavaScript itself is the programming language among the three. We have HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So JavaScript is the programming language while the others are just markup language. So what JavaScript help us to do is it help us to make our HTML to be dynamic. Do you understand? To make it dynamic, ever since we have been doing static, everything we have been doing about HTML and CSS, they have been static, just few that are dynamic. But now when we will be using we'll be making use of JavaScript, and it will now make it more interactive, more dynamic. Do you understand? It will not be just static. So that's it. In simple terms, JavaScript is a programming language that makes web pages interactive. It lets things on a website move, change, respond when you click or type without reloading the page. When you want to maybe you make corrections to your CSS, you have to reload the page for you to see the changes, or you make correction to your HTML, you have to reload the page to see the changes. But JavaScript is not like that. E- Even though you make like you write your JavaScript code and you want to see the changes, you want to see things move, respond to all those things, you don't need to reload the page. They will just be moving. And it will interest you to know that most um browsers are created using JavaScript. So that's why it's very easy for you to make or debug when you are having issue with JavaScript. It's very easy for you to debug JavaScript because most of the browsers they are make up of JavaScript. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Alright. So now we will be moving to how to write JavaScript. How to write JavaScript, just like how to write CSS. In CSS we have inline CSS, whereby you write your CSS inside the HTML element, while we have internal CSS where you write your CSS at the edge part of the in between the head element of your HTML. While we have external CSS, where you write your CSS in another file, then you now link it to your own to the HTML file. So that's the three CSS style of writing CSS. Now the same thing applies to JavaScript, but with a little different. Inline JavaScript is when you write your JavaScript inside your HTML. You write inside your HTML. Then your internal JavaScript, you write it under, that's at the bottom part of your HTML, but inside the it must be inside the body element. Do you understand? It must be inside the body element, but it will be under. In CSS, it is at the top. That's in between the head element. But in JavaScript, it will be under, in between the body element. So your JavaScript code will be the last code in your body element. Do you understand?
Yeah.
um The external JavaScript is when you now write it in a separate JavaScript, and you now link it to your HTML file. Alright, it's just introduction. We'll look at the practical. What you have to know on JavaScript. There are some fundamental things you have to know when it comes to JavaScript. Fundamentals. One is variables. Variables. Variables, yeah. Variable is just like a container where you put something, and whenever you want to make use of that particular element or that particular object that you put inside that container, you don't need to all you just have to do is you have to make use of the container itself, not the object. So that's for variable. We will get more explanation on that very soon. Then we also have object. Yeah, object is just like um it's not that object I made mention of at the same that first time. Oh, this one is just like objects, like real objects. Do you understand? But we'll get there sha. Then we have functions. Functions,
Okay.
yeah, function is just like a block of code that you write to perform a specific task. Just like let's say um your computer is an electronic machine that takes information, processes, and you know um give the output. Do you understand? So your computer have a specific task: input, process, and output. That's the task. So that's the function of your computer. Then we also have printer. Printer also have its own function, is to print something out. We have fan, we have ACs, etc. So just like that, that's function, but we will look at it more in a more deeper way. Then we have conditionals. Conditionals are just like giving instructions. No, not giving instruction actually. Like you are trying to check for a condition if something is true or if something is false. If it is true, perform this specific task. If it is false, do not perform the task. So that's conditionals. Then we have loop. Loop is just like performing a task in a repeated way. You are doing it over and over and over and over again to get a specific um result. Yeah, so that's loop. So these are the most 5 important things we will look at, but there are more than this. But these are the fundamentals you have to know when it comes to JavaScript. We still have more, as I have said earlier. Now, first one is variables. Variables. As I have a little bit explained, variables is just like a container that you put something inside, you store it. Just like a perfect example is your bank account and your ATM card, your money and your ATM card. So for instance, you want to buy, you have some money in your account, maybe 2,000, 3,500 or 5K, and you want to enjoy yourself, you want to eat shawarma because I know female like shawarma. I want to take little choco that will probably cost you like 6K, or depending on the environment you are in. So um you know life or technology have actually make it easy for us to carry our ATM card around without carry a physical cash, and you want to eat shawarma and little choco. So you just have to dip your hand into your purse, then bring out your ATM card and slot it into the ATM machine or the vendor's POS machine. They debit you, then you get your shawarma and your little choco. So that's it. Your ATM card now just like your variable. Yeah, that's your variable where you store your money. Then the money is the can you still hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Alright. So the money is the value that you are storing, that you store inside your ATM card. So your ATM card is the container, then the money is the value. Do you understand? So whenever you want to use the money, you use, instead of carrying money around, you carry your ATM card around. Do you get? So that's variables. We have different way of writing variables. I will still show you. Then yeah, type of types of JavaScript variables. Type of JavaScript variables. We have we have okay. Let's start with, I'm coming. Okay, let's start with this. So in JavaScript variables, we have different aspects. We have variable scopes, we have variable declaration, we have naming of variables. We will also talk about global and local variables. Then we also talk about reserved words. Reserved words. Reserved words are just like they are built-in words that comes with JavaScript. Yes, they come with JavaScript right from beginning. Do you understand? So first of all, we will look at namings of variables and variable declaration before we now look at variable scope, and we look at variable scope, global and local variables, reserved words later. But for now, we'll be looking at variable declaration and names of variables. How to name your variables. Do you understand? So names of variables. For name of variable, we have three ways of writing it. Three ways of writing it. We have um, one. We have var, var, var. We have let, let. Then we have cost, const. Do you understand? So var title equal to code life. var title equal to code life. Then we have let publisher equal to house of books. Then we have constant or cost author equal to Marvin Green. So I will explain. This var you are seeing here is what we call variable declaration. This let you are seeing here is also what we call variable declaration. Const that you are seeing here too, it is also variable declaration. You know, when we are doing variable, we say we have variable name, we have container, and we also have value, right? Variable name, container, and value. Now coming to this now, you are seeing var, var, you are seeing let, let, cost. Okay, let me quickly digress. This is reserved words, reserved words, right? This var, let, and constant that you are seeing here, they are also known as, there are some words that come, they are, that's built-in words that come with JavaScript. They are reserved for JavaScript. You cannot use them anyhow. Do you understand? So that's another aspect you have to know about var. It is that's what you have to know about, that's one of the things you have to know about reserved words. So var, let, cost, they are reserved words in JavaScript. They are also a variable declaration. Now after variable declaration, we now have variable names or naming of variables. Naming of variables, you can make use of any words that you like, anything that you like. For example, what you are seeing on my screen now is, you are seeing the first one is var title equal to code live. So the title there is the variable name. Do you understand?
Yes.
Alright, the title here is the variable name, then the code live we are seeing here now is value. Coming back to this now, value. So you are seeing storing a numeric value. It might not be only numeric, it might be alphanumeric, it might be um words, peace, agatha, this, that, anything, phone, piano, guitar, digital marketing, web development, you get, that's value. You can be value. Those are values, not only numbers, not only alphanumeric. No, alphanumeric are, they are the one that contains both numbers and signs, and also um letters too. So it can be anything, that's value. Var, let, and cost, that's variable declaration. And title, publisher, author, they are variable names. Then the one on the other side of the equal to, is the variable, the value of the variable. The value of the variable, do you get? Then we also have data types in JavaScript. Very important, very important. Now this is the beginning of programming language. This, with this, if you can understand this data type, you can understand every other programming language. I was watching a course this afternoon on C sharp. Still the same thing. The data type is still the same thing. Do you understand? So data type in JavaScript, we have primitive and we have non primitive. Yeah, primitive and non primitive. Primitive in the sense that um type of primitive data types are: one, string, numbers, boolean, boolean, none, undefined. Are you following? We have string, we have numbers, we have boolean, we have
Yes.
none, then we also have undefined. These data types are under primitive data type in JavaScript. Now we also have object, array, function, and some other data type like that. They are under non primitive for non-primitive data type. Remember when I made mention of objects here that I said I will explain better when we start writing code. Yeah. So we'll still look at it. Object, array, and function. So that's how for what I have on my slide. Then on my document, JavaScript basic notes with examples, variables. I've made mention of var, let, cost before. Now variables are used to store data. Now coming back to this, data types in JavaScript, right? String, numbers, boolean, none, undefined, object, array, function. They are used to they are datas. Do you get? They are datas. Now that variable is what you use to store it. Is what you use to store it. Now var, it is the old way of writing, of declaring variables. That's variable declaration. If you remember, I made mention of variable declaration. Var is one of the oldest way of variable declaration. Why? um it is used in function scope, and it also avoid using in modern JavaScript. You can use it o, you can use, but it's advisable you avoid it when writing modern JavaScript. Yeah. Hold on please, I'm coming.
Okay.
All right, sorry, I'm in the office. So we have let can be changed later. Hmm. It is a way of declaring a variable that can be changed later. Do you understand? Maybe you say let Bernard equal to phone. Then you can say, oh, I don't want let Bernard equal to phone anymore. I want let Bernard equal to Wi-Fi, or I want Bernard equal to laptop. So you can change it. The constant cannot be reassigned. It cannot be reassigned. It is constant. In as much you say constant Bernard cost Bernard equal to phone, it will be very hard for you to change it. To be very very hard for you to change it. So that's it. We look at that when we start writing our code. Today is just introduction. So now look at it now. Var name equal to John can be replaced. Sorry, it can be redeclared, right? Let age equal to 25 can be updated. The constant country equal to Nigeria cannot be changed. Do you understand? Now you're not saying, look at it too, let age equal to 25. You now come down, you now say age equal to 26. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. Remember, it's still the same variable name, but the value change. Are you saying that the value change?
Yes, from
Yeah.
25 to 26.
Yes. So updating for let or change for let is possible. But when it comes to constant, initially our country is what? Nigeria. But now we want to now move to Ghana. We say Nigeria don tire us. We want to now move to Ghana. We now say country equal to Ghana. It will throw an error, automatic error. Do you get? So that's that's after that. Now data types. Hold on. Divide. On that one. All right, let's continue. Now let's move to data types. JavaScript has different data types of data. I mean, we have string. String is any word, any letter, any number. If it is number, if it is letter, if it is alphanumeric, in as much it is in between this double what is it called, double apostrophe, in as much that particular thing now is inside or it is in between this apostrophe here now, you should know that it is string. It is a string. You get? Then when we talk about numbers, when we talk about numbers, means that you are saying it should be 10, 3.4, 3 point that, any numbers at all that you can think of, any numbers at all that you can think of that comes to your mind, that's number. Boolean, boolean is either true or false. You know that time in electrical they say one is for on, zero is for off. See the same thing too when it comes to JavaScript or when it comes to programming language. One is true, zero is false. You understand? Then none. None is another data type you have to take note of. It means empty value. There's nothing there. Empty. It is empty. Undefined. Undefined. Undefined simply means that that particular data is not assigned to any variable. So sometimes you might have, sometimes maybe if you start writing code now or you start writing JavaScript now, you now be seeing some errors undefined. You should know that that value that you are trying to use is not attached to any variable name. Do you understand? So for example now you can say, let's say Ghana, or let's say uh, Benin Repo- Benin no Benin Republic. I want to make use of this Benin Republic in one of your code. It will throw an error. You know why? Because it is not stored inside any this thing. It's not stored inside any variable, so you cannot make use of it to throw an error. But you can make use of Ghana, you can make use of 25, you can make use of John, you can make use of Nigeria, you can make use of 26 because they have a variable name. How we are following?
Yes.
Alright. Now example is, now we have looked at data type o, string, numbers, boolean, none, undefined, object. Okay, object is a way of writing your data in keys and value. It comes in key and value. We call it key value pairs. Key and values. So the key for John is what? His name. And if you observe, the way you write it is different from the other way you write the other data types. You are seeing a curly bracket, and in between the curly bracket you are seeing the key there as name, then you are seeing the John there as the value. The key value pairs are here. Name now is the key, then John is the value. You understand? Yeah.
Yes.
So examples: username Michael, that's string. Score 100, that's number. Is login true, that's boolean. Empty value, that's none. not assign, undefined, and let person equal to what? Name Mike, age 20. That's what? Object. Yeah, that's object. We'll write the code oh. We'll write the code in our next class. In JavaScript too, or in all programming language, even the C sharp course I'm taking currently sef, we also have operators and expressions. Yeah, in all programming language, even Python, any. So operators are used to perform actions on values. I told you that this is value, right? This part is value, this part is value, this part is value, this one is value. Let me make use of this now. Okay, this is value, this value, this value, this value, this value, right? Now, operators or expressions. Operators are used to perform actions on values, which is all these values that are seen here now. Operators are used to perform actions on them. Arithmetic operators. We have arithmetic operators. Now we have talked about variables, we have talked about data types, we have talked about, yeah, variables and data types. Now we are moving to operators and expressions. So when we are writing the code now, it will be very easy. Do you understand? So under operators and expression, we have arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators. So arithmetic operator is simply like performing some arithmetic operations on JavaScript values, or values actually. That time for JS1, they used to teach us arithmetic operators now. All these plus, minus, division, subtraction, multiplication, all those one. Then when we now get to
Mm.
JS3, they now advance it. No, from JS1 from JS2 they advance it. JS3 we now looking at BODMAS, bracket, open, division, multiplication, all those stuff. They now say before you solve any equation, you have to follow the BODMAS law. Do you understand? You still remember all those one, abi? No mind me
Yeah.
o. No mind me o. So, oh my god. Yeah. So in JavaScript too, we also perform those operators. One, let. Now look at it o. We are declaring a variable. Let A equal to 10 and let B equal to 5. Then we now say console.log. Now here, another thing you have to take note of this console.log. Every programming language have its own way of outputting results on the browser. Do you get that? Let me say it again. Every programming language have their ways of outputting something or result on the browser. Now for JavaScript is console.log. That's what you use to output it on the browser. Then PHP is echo. Yeah, we have echo, we have variable DOM, all those one for PHP. Then for C sharp, the one I'm taking currently now, we have console.writeLine. Console.writeLine, that's for C sharp. So for JavaScript, let's come back to JavaScript. It is console.log. Then you now put your variables name. Now observe o, instead of 10 and 5, what do we put? What is here? Hello, can you hear
You
me?
say? Mm.
Are you sure you are following? So
I'm following.
alright.
There is 10 and 5. There is let A, which is 10, and let B, which is 5. That is 10 plus 5, 15 now.
Yeah, exactly. You get, so now instead of using the values itself, they are now using the name of the variable. Do you understand? So that's it. Then we also have minus, see the same thing, multiplication, the same thing, division, the same thing. Comparison operators, console.log, we are now saying 10, we are saying 10 is greater than 5. It's true now, right? Because we are trying to compare, two values. We are trying to say 10 is greater than 5, which is true. Fan don go off. Then um 10 equal to, I see this 10 that you are seeing here now and this 10 that you are seeing here now.
Mm.
No, no class. This one is normal number, while this one is a string. You get? But kind of it is equal to, but sometimes it's not actually equal to. You see that? Look at the first one. Look at the second one. 10 equal to. You are seeing the three sign of equal to. One, two, three. Hmm? Now you are
Yeah.
seeing number equal to string. They are not the same. So it will give a false result. But this one 10
Why?
equal to, because they are not, this one is a string. This one
Mm-hmm.
now look as if it is a letter. It's a string. The data type are different. Remember when we are talking about data type, we say we have string, we have numbers, we have boolean, right? And
Yes.
now this one now number 10, the data type for that 10 is number. I data type of this 10 now, you are seeing that you have two this thing at the top is a string, so they are not the same. So what you are trying to do here is that you are trying to compare two data type together or two values together. So the first one actually, it's not advisable to be using two equal to sometimes, because you might make mistake, or your programming, your logic can misbehave. So that's why it's advisable when you are doing comparison, it's advisable to use triple equal to, not double. Do you understand? Yeah. So that is more. Never come. Me, I soon go outside. So we have logical operators. Logical operators, right? For logical operators now is and this sign that you are seeing here now is and that's, I'm trying to check if true is still the same thing as false, like and. You know what and is used for now in English language? Conjunction. Add two sentences together or add two words together. Then this other sign that you are seeing here now, this other sign is in your laptop, is in your keyboard. All these sign are there on your keyboard. This one is on your keyboard. This other one is still on your keyboard too. Then this one also, this last one, not true. This not true, still on your keyboard too. So they are logical operators. Logical operators. Then yeah. So another thing you have to take note is uh input and output using console.log in JavaScript. Input and output using console.log in JavaScript. So console.log is used to display output in the browser console. In the browser console. So I told you that your browser, most of your browser are made use of um JavaScript. They are being created using JavaScript, most of them. Let me quickly show you console. Console. I think I've shown you this thing before now. This is a console. So you can actually write JavaScript here. You output it, it will still work. You understand? So this is your console. When you inspect, then you come here. Yeah. Then then what should I say? I'm coming. The recording. So yeah, so that's it for introduction. So next time on our other class we'll be doing practical, like everything now will now start with practical. Before we now, we have a pending JavaScript project and our normal project. So before we now add it to it, then everything will now work fine one.
The input and output, you didn't explain it again.
Yes, now it's how to output something now on the browser. Like let's name, okay, let's say let's name equals to Adana. Okay, let me just, I'm coming. So this is, this is a JavaScript console now, right? Then as, or let me just come and use this one. Let me say console console.log console.log name. Okay, sorry, undefined. You're saying that it's showing you undefined abi? Let's do this again. I was actually trying to output this other, but it work sha. But when we get our VS code, we get more explanation on that. Do you understand? Yeah. So that's it
Okay.
for today. Then I'll send you this file. I'll send this file later. We'll see how many things to look at. But let's stop here for today. Now I'll also upload it on my YouTube channel so that you can go through it after you have solved that your issue. But it's very easy. It's a very easy something. You are having issue with is either your HTML, how you write
I've checked
HTML,
I've checked
or
the HTML.
or
I
how you
checked
write,
it over and over again.
or
Especially that future box. Where I know that it's the most problem from that future box, the image side. So that
uh,
was why I was concentrating on checking it, then checking the CSS tagging.
just check the CSS. Yes, no fear. It's something very easy and something you can do. You can do it. All right, let's call it a day
Alright,
from
no
here.
problem. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your time. Bye.